So apparently Dickers has the best coverage of this, I suppose. Let's see what we have cooking, guys. Very interested in this. Let's see what we have going on. Oh yeah, sorry. We have to. So this is a review, to my understanding. I know virtually nothing about this content. I know literally nothing about this content at all. Apparently, this is the first premiere of this channel, you guys. It's never been done before on the Goddamnit Malcolm channel before. This is a sexual review. All right, let's see what this is about.
Darkness and expose what's been going on. Himpleton forwarded a message by Parlo's manager that basically said, I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to tell Parlo what he can and can't do. That's between them. Himpleton, then apparently, according to Internet Adjacent, sent that to him and convinced him, look, listen, okay, these guys are going to drop the document. These guys are going to drop, you need to drop yours first. You need to drop yours first. But these guys, Himpleton knew, had already got an agreement between each other that they weren't going to drop shit. That's why this has come out. That's why this has come to the fruition. Because Himpleton has been fucking bunny trolling people. That's why. Just FYI, I thought I'd let you know. Just FYI, because I spoke to Parlo after that, and I even got his manager on the line. To basically ask,
oh, hang on. It looks like I have this now. Hang on one second. Okay, so they're 20 and 21. Okay, and Internet Adjacent is a year older. Internet Adjacent has like, what, 15K subs on YouTube? And Parlo, was it Parlo, Jesus. Parlo has like more than 500,000. Okay.
Oh god, I wish this didn't have to come out. There's so much of my life that's now like exposed. I wish I could move on and nobody had to know about any of this. I really wish.
Let's power through this because I can read this a lot faster than all of these people. Okay, so this document covers allegations, topics pertaining to interpretations, sexual coercion, unwanted contact, suicidal ideation, suicide baiting, emotional manipulation, image leaking, and privacy invasion, sexually transmitted diseases. Internet Adjacent Wolfgang is a commentary YouTuber with 14.4K subs, known for creating a topic-based community and news channels that covers ongoing internet drama and situations. He was also once a close associate and friend. Who is this written by? Do we know? Okay, so, confirming that this is who this is. Recently, he has appeared to have exercised examples of emotional manipulation and coerced me into giving him favors. He can be seen continuously plastering me and instigating based topics of conversations to get me to engage with him, despite red flags showing that I was not reciprocating. I felt obligated to have sex with Wolfgang as I didn't feel like I had the ability to say no. While I seemingly did oblige, I was physically uncomfortable. I physically froze during numerous instances, and my body language showed that I was not enjoying whatsoever. And I was close to throwing up on certain intervals. In reality, I only engaged because I was scared of the repercussions. Who is the one that's writing this? Is this Parlo's writing this? Okay. I had even told Wolf that I have difficulty stating no to people. So I paid for his plane ticket, which was over $1,167, and I felt compelled to engage to satisfy him, as he was consistently asking for favors. So Parlo is PayPal'd it to you. Here's the money. As of recently, Wolfgang has now been requesting for me to have also paid for the Airbnb that only he used and found, despite him not only having a job at Domino's, but also being paid a significant amount on YouTube in the past month. Wolfgang omits this fact that on his volition, offered to pay for the expenses of the Airbnb while I bought the plane ticket. So, new problem. How would me and whoever go halfsies on this place? You want to call here later? I got to grab my paycheck. I'll book the Airbnb when you PayPal me the rest. Chilling about, a little confused what to do, like with the Airbnb, since I can't stay over. I'll pay for it and you can come and visit. Under no circumstances did I ever state that I was going to pay for the Airbnb and plane ticket, especially when he said that he would book and pay for his own volition as late as the 7th of October. He was the only person using it. The plane ticket, considerably expensive, and the Airbnb would have only been purchased by me, as discussed in October, and if it was the $800 plane ticket. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're, how many subs does this guy have on YouTube again? Parlo Gaming. How many subs does this guy have? He has 635K subs on YouTube. I would expect this guy to be paying for shit. What is this? He posted a goodbye video 3 weeks ago. Did this guy oh, and then he posted another video about Pyrocynical, like literally the other day, or not the other day, I guess I should say 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would personally, if somebody's making this fucking money, I would definitely be having them pay. And he also has 2 YouTube channels. What's his other YouTube channel? Holy 41K subs. Yeah, this dude's making bank. I don't know. This is kind of nothing to me. This is, I mean, I would want this to pay for too. Okay. Okay, so Parlo says how much is the plane ticket? No idea. I need to talk to my dad about permission to go to the apartment because of the bail conditions. Wolfgang says, do you think he'd allow you? Also, sorry to go AWOL for a bit up at the hospital. Oh shit, what happened? I can't talk about it. I can talk about it later. I'm not comfortable with the subject right now, and I might not even go home tonight. And then a picture of him in the hospital. How have you been? I've been speaking to this, I don't know how to say this name, Y. And no one knew what happened. I was getting really concerned. So, suicide baiting number 1. Wolfgang attempting to fish for sympathy due to his situation in the hospital. This was due to him being dissuaded from the fact that I was not responding to him and giving him attention. What? 2104. 2105, 2105, 2107. This is, I mean, this looks like they were just having a back and forth conversation. It doesn't look like we were not responding. And then I don't know, he's just saying that he's in the hospital and he doesn't want to talk about it right now. I don't know. I mean, I guess that maybe there's more in here, I suppose. Maybe there's more in here, I guess. I don't know. This isn't really hitting for me right now. Okay. So he's seen instigating the topic of conversation about him being in the hospital to elicit a response and following with an image in the hospital saying, hey, to once again get my attention, which I'm seen expressing my concern. And then, okay, we'll walk around a bit at 6:30. Okay, do you want a drink? Not really. Evidence A, Wolfgang is seen offering me if I want to have alcohol, with me being dissuaded from taking it, making the excuse, if we do anything tomorrow, alcohol would complicate the situation. Oh, do you want a drink? Not really. Offering me if I want to have alcohol with me being dissuaded from taking it, making the excuse that if we do anything tomorrow it would complicate it. Yes, I can meet it too. Sweet, I'll be here. Want to cuddle for a little bit. I want to you in your little femboy outfit. I'm heading. I'll be down. Like, so, okay, he doesn't engage or, like, respond at all to, like, this actual statement, which is fine, but, like, just saying, like, hey, do you want to get a drink? I don't know if that... Like, is this supposed to demonstrate this? Like, he's just like, hey, do you want a drink? Obviously, you could... Well, they're in Britain, so he can't... He's British, right? He can drink. You can drink in the United Kingdom at 18. Like, okay. I know we're really early into this, but so far I'm not, like, really into this because, like, he's just asking, do you want a drink? Okay, I'm going. Evidence B, Wolfgang is seen asking if I wanted to cuddle and proposing oral sex with me. Aaron the proposal due to me being uncomfortable, and instead of saying what the situation... Instead, stating what situation I was at swiftly changed the topic of the conversation, as I was dissuaded from wanting to engage with ROBLOX from him, this being abundantly clear when examining the text messages between me and him. So, and I would respond, hot, I wish I wasn't so sleepy, me too, I would have sucked you dry, okay, I could just do that tomorrow, you up? Yeah, but I probably won't be done till 1. I literally on the dot just got up 3 minutes ago, that's okay, I don't think blank, I haven't even showered yet, and then he sends a picture. Wolfgang was attempting to instigate a sexual-based conversation with me in regard to also proposing that he can just do it tomorrow as I offered the excuse that I was sleepy. Where did he say it? Like, why is the excuse here in bold when... What? I don't understand this. I was not seen engaging or replying because I didn't want to have sex with Wolfgang. Wolfgang is also seen posting unsolicited images. So he's, like, posting and then you're just not responding. Like, sure, he should pick up the hint that you're, like, not responding to it, but... It doesn't seem like he's, like, arm twisting or anything, but okay. Are you down for me to just come? It may take super long. Yeah, sure. Sky's going for a walk, but in the Airbnb, we got snacks. He might also stay over at someone else's house tonight. Like going to the club? Yeah, I get you. Want to see if I can record a script? At here? Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll see. Wolfgang was seen claiming Y was going to, quote, stay at someone's house, someone being a theoretical person met at a club. This was said by Wolf to instigate the topic of the conversation with me having the Airbnb to ourselves to have... What? Hello? We might also stay over at someone else's house tonight so we might get the place to ourselves. In reply, I was seen making the excuse that I wanted to record a script, hinting that I would be preoccupied and not engaging with the flow of the conversation by referencing sex whatsoever. Okay, so we're just, like, not picking up on the hint, I guess? Okay, alright, whatever. Wolfgang very openly did not want Y to share their Airbnb during several instances, resulting in him asking Y to leave late at night in a town unknown to him just so he could sexually engage with me by himself. What do we know? What do we do about Y? I don't want to have sex with him in another room. Parlo says, I know. We can do it another time if you want. We can do it on the 4th or the 3rd day, maybe. It's up to you. I'd rather tonight, though. I can ask him to dip for a bit. Okay, but this is mutual. This is like mutual. Like, I know, like... I don't want to f with our friend here. I know we can do it another day, maybe when he's not here. I'd rather do it tonight. Okay, alright, okay. Wolfgang is seen stating that he does not want Y in the other room while he has sex. With me stating that we can push back a day, showing that I did not necessarily want to have sex that day either. Wolfgang states, quote, it's up to you, but is then saying I'd rather do it tonight, coaxing me. That isn't like coaxing. That's literally just like, oh, okay, I would rather do it tonight, but yeah, we can do whatever you want. Like, hello? What? the idea that I need to have them as soon as he arrived to satisfy me, not upset him, despite me evidently not wanting to. Wolfgang is then seen stating, I can ask Yellow to dip for a bit. It's disrespectful for Wolfgang to have forced Yellow, who just turned 18, to go outside of the Airbnb in a city he's not accustomed to late at night, so he can engage with somebody else by himself. Okay, so hello, if this has this Yellow person said anything about this? This Y person? Has he said anything about this where he was like, it was really fucked up that Wolfgang kept asking me to leave the Airbnb? Or was it just like, yeah, I can fuck off for a little bit if you guys want to hang out? Okay. Wolfgang is then seen stating, I can ask him to dip for a bit. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This caused Y to have 2 uncomfortable confrontations with strangers that could have put him in direct danger. During the sexual experiences, I was extremely uncomfortable that Y was essentially forced out to accommodate that he shared. Yeah, the captions are doing a lot of heavy lifting as well. And like, I just, has this Y person said anything about this? Because I realistically, if I was traveling to go and hook up with somebody and I brought like a friend with me or whatever, it would be like, hey, can you like fuck off for like 2 hours or something? Like, can you come back later? It sounds like that was a conversation that they had, so it's really not that big of a deal, but okay. And then Wolfgang says, do you want me to change so we can do stuff? Y is down to head out for a little bit. And then Parlo says, I want to chill now on MC. And Wolfgang says, all right. Wolfgang is seen once again instigating the topic of conversation about having sex after he changes his clothes, shutting down his proposition and saying that I just want to chill on Minecraft. I use this as an excuse, as in reality I did not want to have sex. How was he supposed to know that, though? Because it's like, what do we want? I don't want to fuck while he's in the other room. We can do it another day. And then it's like, do you want me to change and we can do stuff? My friend is like, he'll fuck off so we can hang out and like do shit. And then I want to do something else. Okay, how is this? This is a lot of fluffing. Wolfgang says, do you still want to try topping? Parlo says, I could, but I'm stressy about it. I don't know if I'll be able to stay hard. Wolfgang says, we can try something tonight before you leave, just to see. I kind of want to blow you in that outfit. That'll tell us if you can stay hard. Parlo says, I was actually about to leave pretty soon since I keep falling asleep. And then Wolfgang says, oh, it's like, that's okay. Okay, so he keeps asking, and you're just like, not right now, which is okay. That's fine. But this just isn't, so far we're what? Just kind of into this. This isn't doing it for me. Wolfgang was seen instigating a sexually based topic. What is this one? Oh, okay. Wolfgang was seen instigating a sexually based topic of conversation in regards to topping. In reply, I am seen saying that I could. However, I was too stressy and that I would be able to stay hard. Telltale statements to indicate that the fact I would not be comfortable engaging. Wolfgang was not picking up on this. Instead, sought to continue pushing for sex, stating that we can try something tonight and that that'll tell us. In reply, I'm seen stating that I was about to leave soon to defuse the topic. And Wolfgang says, "Oh, that's okay. If he keeps making moves, why can't you just be like, I actually don't want to? I don't understand." Okay. October 11th situation. But this afternoon, I was already dissuaded from engaging sexually as I was tired and hungry waiting for him. I was seen stating that I didn't want to engage, but that he wanted to make him finish as quickly as possible. He then replied when I wanted to do it, with me stating that I was hungry and I needed to eat, basically pushing the point that I wanted to get it over with. When Wolfgang eventually arrived, which was around 10:50, I was further dissuaded from wanting to engage sexually after seeing what he looked like IRL and disparaging differences from his online pictures, since his hygiene was not exactly the best. Wolfgang, however, immediately wanted sex. Since earlier I said I would, and I felt as I was obliged as to not upset him. So Parlo says, I'm going to make you blow as quickly as humanly possible. You have no idea. And then Wolfgang says, do you want to do it shortly after I get there or right when I arrive? And then Parlo says, I'm hungry and I need to eat. So this Parlo is literally saying, I will fuck you. And then, like, obviously you can change your mind. Like, you guys are like sending racy messages back and forth. You meet in real life and then it's like, it's pronounced like Zillow. Okay. And then, so you're like, hey, when we meet up, we're gonna fuck. We're super gonna fuck, you guys. We're gonna fuck like crazy, girl. We're gonna fuck like bananas. We're gonna go to Pound Town, okay? Obviously, when Parlo gets there, if Parlo changes his mind, that's completely fine. But how are you going to say that Wolfgang is the one that's like arm twisting you into doing this when he's just like saying like, hey, you said that you wanted to do this. Do you want to do it today? No, I don't want to do it today. Oh, okay. Hey, do you want to do this? I can have Zillow leave or whatever. No, I'd rather do it later in the week. Okay, that's fine. And then you respond and say, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you. And then it's like, when I got there, he expected that I was going to fuck the shit out of it. It's like, yes, hello? Okay. When do you want to do it? Before food? And then this little rat says that Wolfgang, however, immediately wanted sex since earlier I said that I would, and I felt I was obliged. And then he's like, I need to eat. And then when do you want to do it? And then before I get food, I just want to do it right now. As long as we can last, I guess. Okay, give me a bit. Wolfgang knew that I was extremely hungry. Dude, he knew that I wasn't me when I was hungry. Okay, what? Okay, what? why are we expecting Wolfgang to be able to like read this guy's mind? I don't understand. Wolfgang knew that I was extremely hungry in messages. I was quickly seen asking along maybe because I wanted the experience to be quick. Wolfgang was seen attempting to rush the situation before 12 so we could get pizzas, which put stress on me to do it while I was still attempting to procrastinate, telling him to give me a bit. I'll call when I shower sex. I'll call when I get there. I'm on the train. And then this is like the discern messages I made it clear I was hungry and Dodge disengaging from his advances trying to pry for shower sex. Literally just offering. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then he's like on the way. He's letting you know where he is. Hello? What do we want to do about Zillow? I don't want to have sex with him in the other room. I know. We can do it another time. Okay, so these are the same fucking messages. Wolfgang was then seen stating that it was up to me to give me the illusion of choice. Or he was like, I'm just going to let you... Okay, Wolfgang was extremely keen on doing anal with me and being extremely conflicted with the proposition. Wolfgang opened one of the condoms out of the packets and hastily attempted to take control of the situation, despite me in numerous intervals being extremely hesitant to do anal or let alone any sex in general because I was extremely reluctant, tired, and hungry. He opened his condom, however, showing that he was wanted to engage in anal sex despite me making a multitude of excuses on why I really didn't, going over my stressing and anxiety problems doing anal. I do faintly remember consistently stating no. I do faintly remember... I faintly remember, okay? Instead, I opted to do the bare minimum to orally satisfy. So it sounds like they didn't ass fuck anyway. They didn't have gay butt sex anyway, so, okay? I opted to do the bare minimum, being orally satisfying, because he openly told me that he wanted sex, and I didn't want to upset him the first day, because I spent hundreds to see him, and he spent hours to get here. What transpired was me being close to being sick numerous times, and finishing him off with my hands as I was physically repulsed and wanted the situation to be over. He would ask if he wanted to film the situation, which I declined. He appeared rather dissatisfied when which he then told me to use the purple glitter dildo he provided, the, quote, Cinderella... The Cinderella, which when I inserted, hurt and rather uncomfortable, but I did regardless, was just to satisfy Wolfgang. Wolf also fingered me with a... I'm sorry. What's this? Oh, this is the condom. They're taking pictures of the crime scenes. I don't... Listen, victim blaming is stupid, okay? I completely agree. People can be... But, like, you cannot expect other people to be able to intuit your true feelings when by nature, like, by your own volition... You're being, like, you're obfuscating your true intentions. Because you're saying, I didn't want to fuck, I never wanted to, I certainly would have never. And then you post messages of you yourself saying, I'm gonna fucking suck the shit out of your dick. It's gonna be like a golf ball in a garden hose. I'm gonna suck the shit out of that. And then it's like, and then he, for some reason, thought that I wanted to do, it's like, yes, you said that. And then he's being like, hey, are we gonna hook up? And you're like, maybe another night. Like, I understand that saying no can be like kind of, uncomfortable in certain places or whatever. But if you aren't able to establish those boundaries, you shouldn't be engaging in casual sex in the first place. And additionally, this Wolfgang's interactions here are actually like super fucking polite and receptive. God forbid that this Parlo person comes across somebody who's more sexually aggressive, because this is actually like a totally fine engagement. That's like a totally fine engagement. Okay, so we have a picture of the crime scene. As you can see, condom here. This is the condom. As you can see, it's open and just sitting out, getting dry for some reason. I don't know. The phallic object is censored. The condom is ripped open from the wrapper seen on the shelf, corroborating the authenticity of the situation. Dude, he was like preemptively planning his rape attack. That's crazy. He was planning ahead. He was willing to use it while I was visibly shaken and uncomfortable and was saying no. I offered to do it another time, which was indicative of me not being willing to do it and then stalling. No. I mean, because if you say, hey, do you want to have sex with me? And I say, not right now, maybe like at a later date. What I'm saying is, yes, I do want to have sex, just not right now, right? That's what normal people would read from that. That's how that works. Hello? Okay. I made it clear that I didn't want to have sex. Okay, I got it. Do you still want to try topping? Okay, so we already read these. When I decided to leave earlier to avoid his constant requests, he leaned in to try to kiss me, which I avoided just to hug him. He then attempted to recorrect the situation by leaning in to kiss me once again, to which I very uncomfortably reciprocated before leaving. Maybe he just thought that you missed, bro. Okay, in regard to what actually happened, he put his hand on my thigh and then put his arm around me, rubbed my back, laid on my lap, grabbed my hand a couple of different occasions, and leaned in for a kiss, all without asking and ignoring me not reciprocating. Each time I physically retracted, and if I were on others, DM'd him privately, nicely to stop. He had agreed not. I had not agreed to any of the affection. Okay, so previous allegations. So now we're including other people's allegations. That's cool. In 2024, Wolfgang was alleged to have been touchy with someone without their full express permission and leaned in to kiss him without the reciprocation, ignoring red flags. This bears striking similarly to my situation. It's a whole gaggle of victims. It's a gaggle, guys. It's a gaggle. It's a murder. It's a murder of victims. Oh, that's okay. I'm not all that horny. I was yesterday though. I don't think I've jerked in like 4 or 5 days. Do you want me to walk you to the station? I can take the train if it's too late. The train stops at 12. Oh shit. I have to take an Uber now. I was seen saying that I wasn't horny and making excuses as to why I didn't want to engage. You literally said, I'm not that horny though. I really was yesterday though. Like, you're okay. I chose to go by myself. After Wolfgang was seen pushing me to perform oral sex in my femiclip, I eventually obliged. This was fine. La 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 la. The sex was essentially uncomfortable. I was laying very rigid. Okay, is this another incident? Okay, is this another incident? So Zillow left. Has Zillow said anything? Okay. The sex act was extremely uncomfortable, and I was laying very rigidly on the bed, frozen in place. Also on my phone, trying to break the tension of the situation, taking my mind off of the discomfort, the pain, essentially. Attempting to kill time until it was eventually over. It was painful, as I made it very obvious that I was extremely delicate and sensitive beforehand. Me too, girly pop. I did not derive any sexual satisfaction. That has literally nothing to do with, like, okay. I literally didn't even nut. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Zillow and Parlo are mad at me, and I don't know why. Okay, I don't even know what this is. When Wolfgang leaned over to kiss me, I never engaged. However, felt obliged to reciprocate. I was greatly dissuaded due to his lack of personal hygiene. I attempted to cuddle mainly as the bare minimum. Wolfgang decided to take photos without my consent of us kissing to brag about the situation. Okay, that's kind of weird. I don't think that that escalates to like rape, but that is kind of weird. He never once informed me that he'd be sharing these images, thereby violating my privacy. In these photos, I looked disillusioned and covered most of my face because I really didn't want to be photographed. In the Discord screenshots presented, Wolfgang was messaging me on Discord about engaging, and then saying to me while I was busy creating a document to check what I sent you. I sent the pyrocynical document I was working on to excuse why I was not reciprocating nor engaging. However, Wolfgang did not pick up on this and proceeded to once ask me again to come here. I meet him in 10 minutes later. He asked in person again. I obliged timidly over the situation. So, all right, sent the document. Come here. Oh my God. Okay, so this guy's a fucking liar. So, in reading this paragraph, I timidly obliged. I literally had a gun metaphorically held to my head, and I was scared for my fucking life. Come here. I do want my pee-pee sucked. I might be a little horny. Okay, so hello? You literally went over there to fuck. You literally said that. You literally said that. Hello? 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 Oh, so he's a liar. Got it. Okay. October 13th, the shower situation. Okay. Putting up that Zillow would not be returning back so we could re-engage, pushing the idea of shower sex. He brought it up one time. I did not want to share the shower with him nor engage sexually at the time following the prior incident. Wolfgang was seen entering regardless. I did not make direct eye contact and purposely looked away and was uncomfortable. I got undressed very timidly. While I washed the effort to wash my back, I quickly got ready to leave. Observed him shaving in the bathroom sink, and then he asked me to rub soap on his back, which made me uncomfortable. Why couldn't you just say, no, I don't want to wash your back? That's weird. In these instances, it was easy to decipher that I was uncomfortable. I mean, obviously not when you literally sent a message saying, I want you to suck my dick. Obviously not, okay? Okay, so Xylo. Xylo was known to have been 17, turning 18 on September 30th. So, oh my God, freshly 18? Holy fuck. That's, wow, freshly 18. Wow, okay, that's crazy. So counting down his birthday, Wolfgang was publicly known to have been 21. This means there's a 3-year, 5-month, and 30-day age gap. Count them. 30 days. 30 days. That's easily got to be, what? That's like 1,500 rate points. That's like 1,500 rate points. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy. As soon as Xylo turned 18, 2 days later, Wolfgang proceeded to get sexual in his DM, sending unsolicited news, which Xylo felt forced to receive, and compliment as Wolf would bait for positive attention. Wolfgang also proposed to have a 3-way in the Airbnb when we met, insinuating that Xylo would have been involved. When Xylo asked for clarification, Wolf turned this into being willing to engage and then proceeded to tell me about it. So, can you join VC? I can't. Okay, want me to put it here? It's about the 3-way I've talked about before. Do you want to call about it? Xylo said that he wanted to do a 3-way, like before he got all sleepy, like in general with you, and then someone else to be the third, like me, you, and him. Oh, I'd love that. It seems like you were also a giga rapist that you were willing to agree to. Oh my gosh, this is on the 7th? No, this is British time. This is British, so this is 10. 1 month. 1 month. 1 month after this precious baby turned 18. Parlo would love to have a threesome? Oh. You're also a rapist then, I guess. Only if you be down though, because IDK, if he named me, well, yeah, he seemed a little sleepy. I talked to him about it a bit ago. Did he mention me in general though? He said, yeah, me and you want to do it through at some point. Okay. These messages took place only 1 week after Zillow turned 18. A week after he turned 18, and you're saying that you would love to fuck him. That makes you just as much as a freak, I guess, by your own standard. Wolfgang was seen vehemently claiming that Zillow was willing to engage despite my reluctance to believe this entirely. What are these femboy things? Yo, you want to see the updated fit? Bet. I'd show you. The third of my ass is kind of showing. Just shave my whole body. Okay. What does this have to... Okay. All right. Wolfgang was seen throughout the very early October showing Zillow... Oh, this is Zillow. I understand. Okay. So sending this to Zillow. Okay. These super chopped up screenshots don't really do anything for me. Like this here? What? Okay. What is this in the context of? Hello? Can I get more than just this? We have like completely isolated screenshots that mean nothing. Okay. Wolfgang was seen throughout the early October showing Zylo sexualized outfits he wanted to purchase 3 days after Zylo turned 18. Wolfgang also hinted at showing Zylo NSA. Okay. Yeah. Okay. These were all messages directly to Zillow in an instance 8 days after where he talks about his full body shape. Imagine Zylo in you as I'm in him. And then Parlo says yes. Why would you put these screenshots in here, dude? You're literally complaining that Wolfgang is like this evil, like, pedophile because it was literally a week after he turned 18 and you're also wanting to fuck him. You're also like, yes, dude, totally. Let's do an Eiffel Tower. You are also a freak then. Like, I'm confused on how 3-ways work. I've never done it before. Same. I mean, let's lay out everyone in bed first. You and Zillow prefer bottom, I prefer top. Okay. Wolfgang was he making his sexual fantasies known in regards to Zillow stating how he wanted to have sex with him. Here's a video. Here's some furry porn. Here's some more stuff. I don't know what these... Like, I can't even see what these are. Wolfgang was seen creating a group chat called Oktoberfest, which me and Zillow in the group chat created in the center of the idea of a three-way between us. Wolfgang in this group chat posted unsolicited images pertaining to not safe for work furry commissions that he made, and posted the news of himself dressed up along with a picture of his penis in a dildo. This was 8 days after. Okay. You were also in the group chat. You could have said stop. You could have said no. Okay. Wolfgang was speaking consistently, and apparently the three was planned for October trip in front of Zillow when he was still 17. When Zillow asked for further clarification when he turned 18 about Wolfman a three-way, including him, Wolf took this as an example of Zillow asking to participate and went around telling me numerous people around it. Okay. He didn't ask to have sex with me. He asked if he wanted to do a three-way. Yeah, I said you and me want to do a three-way at some point. Zillow said he wanted to do the three-way. It's all about the three. So it looks like that what this is that somebody keyword searched three-way and just screenshotted all these messages. There's no fucking context. Dude, is this A space? Why is A space in here? What? Is this A space? Stop. Dude. Why is A space in this document? You guys. This is the A space that does the podcast with Lio. What is going on? What do you mean? 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 What's happening?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Dude, what the fuck is happening? I think the biggest threat of things becoming public is ironically from him. Wolfgang was seen sharing information with numerous YouTubers such as Ace Howler, and Samuel was Zillow's permission. Wolfgang was then seen sharing private DMs, condition Zillow into sexual-based topics in preparation for him to turn 18, in which would escalate. Me and Zillow went back to the Airbnb, collect our belongings and our equipment. Wolfgang was woken up, explained the situation. Wolfgang was profusely crying and apologizing. He said, I could have just said no, and then you told... Wait, what? Okay. Monday, October 13th, me and Zillow went back to the Airbnb one last time to collect our belongings and equipment. Wolfgang was awoken by the door opening and asked us what was happening, to which Zillow did not engage, and I uncomfortably explained the situation. This was recorded. Can I open this? No, I can't, because it's in the Wayback Machine. Okay, that's fine. We'll probably see that when we go through Dicker's coverage. Okay. Wolfgang was heard profusely crying and apologizing, stating I, quote, could have just stated no, and that he told me that we didn't have to do anything. Yeah, that's true. That is correct. You could have just said, no, I don't want to fuck you. Wolfgang didn't swat my hand away, just pulled it away and said, you're fine to hook up, but not for physical affection. You could have just said no. Wolfgang is he making this exact statement to someone else who accused him of improper conduct. You could have just said no. It's true. Like, you can just say no. You do have agency. This contrasted with the numerous statements he made where he pushed me for sex at the times he would like. For example, the 11th, he said he would rather do it as, okay, we already saw this one. He's just saying I would rather do it right now. We've already read all of these. This is the I'm Alex method. We're just reposting the same fucking screenshots over and over again and pretending that they'll finally say what we want them to say. Wolfgang was heard apologizing for the shower situation and not denying what, stated in regards to me asking if I could go in first before he decided to come in with me regardless. He had fetishized and fantasized about that experience. Wolfgang was heard corroborating about the condom situation by claiming that he stopped after I said no. This was him neglecting to mention the numerous excuses that I made, which led up to him disengaging. So you said no and he stopped. So you literally were like, dude, I'm gonna suck the shit out of your dick. And then he engaged sexually with you after you like were participating, you were reciprocating, you were engaging in the act, and then you said stop and he did. You asked, I said sure, and then no. Okay. This bears striking similarities to the situation. Gibby stated that they initially agreed as I did, and then they changed their mind and explicitly stated no. Okay. Wolfgang stated that the audio, he was sorry and that he didn't mean it. Well, I mean, there's a difference here between like the sexual encounter and then him like being kind of like a weirdo in the shower. Like, yeah, sorry I made you uncomfortable in the shower. Okay. Then you sort of delete them when you go back to the Airbnb, you start DMing me. Somehow led you into a sexual situation that hadn't informed you, and then you went on to want to say that I ruined everything so many times that I had to tell you to stop, or I wouldn't. Is there any corroboration? So we got some more furry porn here. Wolfgang is seen posting furry not safe for work. To be showing anatomically correct canine genitalia artwork. This artwork shows canine knots and genitalia did not bear humanoid characteristics, which is typically seen. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I fucking hate furries. I fucking hate furries. These, I mean, they are anthropomorphic, okay? Just because they have dog, like, this is, like, dogs don't stand like this. Like, yes, I understand. Maybe the dog dick is a little bit too much. I think the whole thing's a little bit too much, okay? All these fucking gooners are gross, okay? Keep your furry degeneracy away from me. But, like, these are very, like, yes, they are anthropomorphic, okay? But the dog dick's weird. I agree. It's weird, okay? It's weird. Hey, I got in trouble as soon as I came back. When he shared the content with me, I did not respond out of discomfort. Why didn't you just block it? I don't understand. Wolfgang is seen bragging that he is excited to confront me about the situation, putting on a false act of confidence. I'm so excited to have this combo. Why? Because what is this about? What is this in reference to? Can the context? You and Zillow will call me and Samuel later. Wolfgang is seen attempting to call me unprompted about the situation on the 17th. I did not agree. Oh my god, he called without asking first. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Dude. One of the biggest mistakes you could make as a content creator is make your personal life content. Wolfgang is seen vague posting threat. What? Posting vague threats and subtweets. This is a vague threat? This is a vague threat. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a content creator is to make your okay, so this dude's just like a perpetual victim. Okay, a perpetual victim. Perfect. In December I'll be in Latvia visiting my family. That sounds fun. Trying to get him to cuddle in bed. Take it easy. I fucked everything up. Whoa, what happened? Xylo and Parlo are mad at me. Wolfgang is admitting to a close mutual that he's trying to get me to cuddle in bed. A blatant self-admission that he... Have any of these people ever had relationships before? I try to get my wife to come to bed when it's like 11 o'clock at night and she's still playing Assassin's Creed. I'm trying to get her. I'm like, hey, come to bed. That's enough. It's time to stop playing Assassin's Creed. It's time to come to bed, right? Like, that doesn't necessarily... I'm not like, oh, I can't wait for you to get in bed so I'm going to rape you. It's like, no, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to get you to come over here because you're doing something else. Okay. Trying to get me to cuddle in bed, a self-admission that he was pushing me to conform to what he wanted. 6 hours later, he's stating that he fucked up in Wolfgang's preemptive response. Document he was seen attempting to excuse his consistent pushing as simply him going to the other room to have access to electrical outlets. What? The reason as to why it was relevant is because he tried to say I peer pressured him in this instance since I was constantly walking in and out of the bedroom. He tried to say this was me trying to allure him or some shit. In the reality, the reason I was going in and out of the bedroom is because that I had an outlet in the Airbnb where I could use my phone. Okay, so he was just going in and out of the room to check his phone? Okay. Trying to get him to cuddle in bed right now. Take it easy. Wolfgang is directly contradicting himself with his intentions. Very clear. Okay, Wolfgang would come in and out of the bedroom frequently, a lot. At this time prompted when we spoke to each other, he just kind of sit at the end of the sofa for a minute and say, I'm going to bed. And go back to the bedroom again and again and do it multiple times to a point where he flat out said something along the lines of, please come to bed with me. At this point, I got weirded out and left the apartment. I suspect that him being pushy as you were very obviously blanking his advances and motives. His intent made a lot of... Like, this whole situation could have avoided if you guys were just like, hey guys, I don't want to have sex. I know that we literally booked this Airbnb and planned this trip for us to have this freaky furry three-way or whatever. I'm actually not feeling it anymore, and I don't want to have sex. Can we just hang out instead? This whole thing could have been avoided if anybody had just an ounce of agency, I guess. Zillow, who was president of the Airbnb at the time, also attests that Wolfgang was attempting to push him to engage in the bedroom, attesting that he heard Wolfgang saying something along the lines of, please come to bed with me, despite my blatant lack of reciprocation and my body language clearly showing how disengaged I was. Internet adjacent, I talked to him, Parlo, Harry proceeding. He is still willing to publicly lie about me if I go public, so in order for everyone to avoid the headache, I made some sort of agreement to both never speak of the situation again. So why are we blowing shit up now? Internet adjacent, this is Himpleton? Where's that Himpleton stream where he crashes the fuck out and he's like, I'll never beg. Because the last time my mom made me beg, it broke me. And then after I was raped, what is that Himpleton stream? Queen and Himpleton. Yeah, dude, this shit's fucking awesome.
I understand. I understand that I'm not a person to you. And I understand that, like, I am just like a means to an end.
Dude, like, what? This guy's having a fucking mental... A reasonable something.
God, if I send it to one of the two...
Where's the part where he's like...
And you just don't...
That's all you have to do. It's not that deep. One thing here.
Then, if I do...
If you beg?
I told myself, I promised myself that I wouldn't anymore.
That you would.
Jeffrey Dahmer, welcome back. We have this somewhat nice microphone, and we sound like we're like speaking through a fucking garbage disposal. Okay, Jeffrey Dahmer, settle down. Himpleton is such an enigma to me. Such an enigma to me. It was that Crash Out stream too, where he goes on and on and on about like how he was like raped and shit. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Why the fuck would you ever do this? Internet adjacent talking to Himpleton, and also friendly reminder: Himpleton also tried a gay ops jar. This guy is gay is like mega gay opsing. He's F slur opsing. He's not gay opsing. He's F slur opsing. And you know it's cool because we get content out of it, I guess. But like this guy is a grade A pot stirrer. Okay, Himpleton is a grade A pot stirrer. If this guy pops up in your DMs, run. Okay. I was originally notified of Wolfgang attempting to make the situation public in the morning of the 8th by a close friend and mutual who expressed that they were extremely distressed at how Wolfgang was essentially pressuring us to get in a call to discuss the situation. If you don't call him tomorrow, he's going public. What you want to do is your call. He keeps fucking pushing me. I can't. Like, can you guys just, like, say no? I find it absolutely disgusting that you've been pushing and pressuring mutuals about the situation. You're instigating currently to make this matter a public drama. The amount of stress that you've been causing my friends is absolutely... Okay, I don't care about all that. And then internet, we're doing more. Internet adjacent says, if that's the case, then you should have zero issues with this call today. If you have this mountain of evidence about what happened in October, then there should be zero issue. I mean, wanting to resolve it privately is probably the best thing to do here. Like, I think that it's kind of a red flag that Parlo is like, I'm totally willing to like forgive and forget that you essentially raped me, allegedly. If you just promise to never talk about it. It seems like he hooked up with internet adjacent and then was embarrassed about it. And so he wanted to keep it under wraps, because if this was actually what happened, if there was like this, you know, vicious rape, why would you not want to resolve this privately? Why would you want to do it publicly? Parlo says, you think my discomfort of speaking about the situation is somehow proof that I'm lying. You simply can't comprehend that I don't want to talk about the situation. I don't want to be reminded of it. And then internet adjacent says, we can put this in the ground today and guarantee it doesn't, or we can keep running around. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't just settle the beef, but whatever. I'm seeing clearly highlighting why I was dissuaded from engaging with him on call. I also expressed my unwillingness for the entire situation to become public. I want nothing more than to move on from this from anything, but the fact that I keep hearing about it more and more is what makes me... Well, yeah, because if Parlo is talking to people about this and people are coming to internet adjacent and Wolfgang to like talk about this, it's obviously that he's not keeping it to himself. Obviously, Parlo wants to talk about it. Parlo's just not talking about it like on his YouTube channel, and that's what internet adjacent is trying to avoid, but... Okay. Wolfgang is attempting to leverage that he knows about the situation. He has a, quote, friend right now that he's telling stuff. I say... friend like that because he genuinely sees this person as a friend, but I don't think it's reciprocated. 10 to 15 YouTubers. Apparently he's been talking about the details in an open server. According to Himpleton, it was last night. He talked about it pretty blatantly in my VC. Numerous testimonies from commentary YouTubers in contact with Wolfgang who attest that he's openly speaking about the situation, alluding to what happened. I'm not being open. I talked to Himpleton, which I've done from the start, and yeah, I mentioned you by name, and you were, quotes, and you, quote, you were speaking to tons of YouTubers. It was me, Himpleton, who already knows, Goat Cattle, and Aiden, you guys, I'm, okay. No, I absolutely didn't. I alluded at Himpleton. First of all, mistake telling Himpleton anything, but okay. Okay, so Himpleton, I wasn't aware people like Aiden and Goat Cattle already knew about the situation, which is why I was vague as possible. I didn't say names. I literally had, okay, so, all right. What do you think my reluctance to join the call invalidates my experience? I have zero idea what you're dealing with right now. And yeah, I think it's prudent not want to join the call when most people here have the stance that they very at least misunderstood what happened. I mean, it sounds like it was. Okay. And rather than try to resolve one big stressful thing in both of our lives, especially after Zillow and Artica both said that it seems like a big misunderstanding, you instead have ignored that and actually wanted to try to slander me as a zoophile and invalidate my mental health by saying I suicide bait. Well, yeah. The very first thing in this was that he was suicide baiting or whatever, and it literally wasn't a suicide bait. It was literally just like, oh, I was in the hospital. Like that was it. Hey, are you streaming tonight? No, I'm in the hospital. Malcolm, the prolific suicide baiter. Okay. Wolfgang is seen stating how I, quote, ignored his efforts of, quote, resolving the stressful situation in both of our lives. He is seen stating that I attempted to slander him as a zoophile. This is not true. My document does not claim that he is a zoophile at all. I mean, yeah, I mean, it does actually. Okay, this person just doesn't understand what an implication is. I guess that's half of the problem here. That's half the problem, babe. Because when you're like, not only did he post furry artwork, it was dog dick furry artwork. What are you implying there? You're implying that it was zoophilic, right? You're like, there was no humanistic or humanoid characteristics. Obviously, it was a sexy dog, which means he wants to fuck the dog. Like, yes, hello? Dog. And then, true, he also trigger warned this with zoophilia in it. Obviously, okay. At a certain point, I just gotta throw in the towel. This is starting to get ridiculous. The only time that he really messages me when he knows that I'm upset. Suicide baiting number 2. The topic of suicide baiting. This is a history of the reoccurring behavior. Okay, let's go. Let's see the suicide baiting. Basically, Wolf and I got into a heated argument where he talked about supporting controversial creators. He said something along the lines of the furry community discourses the danger to minors. I brought up that that there was like worse. Okay, where's the suicide baiting? I gave him a hypothetical, and he called it an insinuation. Conversation ended, no conclusion, and a comment of me saying be careful around controversial creators. Basically, after a few months of debating, he DM'd me an important cryptic message about a, quote, expired date. I was busy that day, and he said he could talk for 10 minutes. He got all offended that I was only giving him 10 minutes, and it ended with him saying that he wanted me to apologize. So he had 10 minutes to talk, and you guys are assuming that he was going to kill himself. Okay. I'll admit the call was messy. He wasn't getting an attitude, gave me that during the text. The aftermath of a few people joining the call. Wolfgang was at a hardware store looking for a hose to kill himself with. I've actually listened to the audio that someone captured because I found it too disturbing. How the fuck do you kill yourself with a hose? Wouldn't you just get a rope? How? A hose. A hose, you say. A hose, you say. He's gonna kill himself with a hose. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay, what's this one? Is this the audio? How long is this?
Let me check if I have everything. Okay, so do you want me to be honest? When we did stuff, I felt rather pressured to do it.
This is the MP4 from earlier up where they recorded Wolfgang crying. Who's talking? Is this Zillow or is this Parlo?
Yeah, it's just like regarding the like start of the thing. Oh, for goodness sake, my fucking flashlight's not working. I just felt kind of pressured.
Okay. Carbon monoxide. Why not just like close the garage door and turn on the car? Why do you have to buy a whole fucking hose for it? People have been killing themselves since the dawn of time with a car and a garage. You don't need the hose. The hose that's ridiculous.
To do stuff for you because I didn't want to make you feel upset if I didn't do anything.
You can tell me no when it comes to that stuff. You don't have to.
I know, but I felt afraid that if saying no would just piss you off because I spent about 1,000 on that ticket.
Also, in all of these, in literally every single one of these messages, never once has Wolfgang been aggressive or angry or hostile. He's been very polite, very agreeable. I don't know where they get this impression that he would get mad and just like fucking rape them anyway. I don't know where this is coming from.
Okay, but I mean, I was just saying things that was.
I even told you we don't have to do stuff until December if you want.
I mean, I tried not to necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I told you we can wait if you wanted.
I did.
Also, he said that that Wolfgang shared the images of them kissing without his consent. Did he get consent to record this audio?
Regarding the shower stuff, I was like saying about like I do you want to have a shower first before after me? I'm sorry. And then regarding like anal and stuff, you like ripped the condom and you were like, oh, do you want to do anal now? Do you want to do anal now?
Yeah, and then
Condoms are notoriously $1,000 a piece, so you had to use it as soon as you opened it, true?
you said sure, and then I took the condom out, and then you're like, no. I'm like, okay, I put it back.
Why would I say that?
That's what you said.
Okay.
That's what happened.
I don't know. I just felt a bit off put by.
Also, why does Parlo feel brave enough to confront him now after the fact, but he wasn't scared to but he was too scared to confront him before? Like, this is just actually fucking deranged, dude. Like, if you don't have the capacity to tell somebody no, and it's not even just like we didn't say no. It was like Parlo was literally talking about how he wanted to have sex with him, and then reciprocated, engaged in sex acts. Why would you? Yeah. Okay. This guy's actually fucking unwell, dude. This is the suicide bait audio. I don't care about the suicide bait because I don't. Dude straight threatens to kill himself, only for it to be on the news and ruins y'all life. So fucked up. Art sexualizing anatomically correct genitalia depicting knotted canine dick is inherently zoophilic. I mean, come on. Didn't this little fucking freak earlier say that he never accused him of being a zoophile? Wolfgang is seen stating how I ignored. Okay, my document does not claim that he is a zoophile at all. It only describes the nature of the images that he posts, but stops short of making a definitive claim. Art sexualizing anatomically correct genitalia depicting knotted canine dogcock is inherently zoophilic. Did he make this document himself? Is he brain damaged? Why would you? He's posting contradictory evidence in his own Google document. So, and then all these screenshots are used to demonstrate that Wolfgang is a zoophile. That's crazy. I actually just have a fundamental misunderstanding of how it works. I was dissuaded from engaging in sexually based conversation with you until you posted it. Big difference between a depiction of a four-legged dog getting fucked and an anthro-furry with a specifically shaped animal. I just think it's gross either way, but even if you didn't, quote, ask for it, you still commissioned it. I mean, you could have simply not asked for it. I mean, if you think he's a zoophile, like, okay, then why'd you fuck him? I don't know. This is all two-faced, and they're arguing about the dicks. Wolfgang is seen attempting to deflect the topic to his close mutuals while also using the animal cast dildo manufacturer's Bad Dragon as a defense for normalizing behavior and claiming it was that consuming artwork sexualizing canine genitalia isn't a problem. So you literally are accusing him of being a zoophile. Okay. This is too much for me. I don't know. Listen, I do not want this public, just like I know you don't. Not only will this destroy one of our careers, but how insanely embarrassing for both of us. Yeah, you guys are literally arguing about, like, dog fucking. That's kind of crazy. He also attempted once to deflect the situation and claimed they were open. I don't care. Wolfgang was seen once sitting, I don't want this public, like I know that you don't. Correct, yes. You were even maligning me in private for trying to twist the situation to a rape allegation. You were making a strawman argument and attempting to preemptively shoot it down to make me look like a malicious liar. Well, yes, you are being a malicious liar because you're, like, backtracking your own statements in your own document. Despite Wolfgang's numerous occasions stating he wished to remain private for it all to be sorted out behind closed doors, and then seen contradicting himself that he does want it to become public. Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're being falsely accused of rape, wouldn't you want to resolve it? And if Parlo's talking about it as well, then it's kind of already out there. So, is it not fair for him to want to try to defend himself? Wolfgang was seen offering me a call, which I declined as I did not feel well after having a hangover, that I already felt panicked and stressed and uncomfortable. Oh my god. And then we were psychically raped with a Discord call. Jesus Christ. Wolfgang was seen acknowledging this and agreeing that if the situation became public, it would benefit no one. Wolfgang was seen stating that he, quote, never wants to hear the situation again. It has gone around to many commentary YouTubers discussing the nature of the situation as well as having made and released a preemptive Google document attempting to get at that situation. My point is actually to mitigate this. Internet adjacent was seen constantly lying about him wanting to keep that situation private. His messages after our conversation to Hamilton show that he fully acknowledged that we were both going to remain private about this extremely serious situation. Parlo, how are you proceeding? He's waiting. He is still willing to publicly lie about me if I go public. So in order for everyone to avoid the headache, I made some sort of agreement to never speak about the situation again. Hey, I'm still in class. For how long? 5 minutes. I get you. I just played Fortnite. Lucky. I just got out. Okay, internet adjacent has been seen having my contact saved as, quote, future boyfriend. This is despite my hesitancy towards any relationship before we ever met. He rushed into it. Dude, this guy has never had a real problem in his life before. I have somebody in my phone is named Perfect White Ass No Cap Farts because that's what some dude on Bumble, like, said to her in a message. So her name in my phone is Perfect White Ass No Cap Farts. That's what it is. It's a name in your fucking phone. You're right. If I put, like, a middle finger for somebody's contact photo or contact name in my phone, that means that I want to kill them. Yeah, correct. He's neurotic. He is neurotic. I have no idea about the... Wow, hang on. Whoa. Internet adjacent. I have no idea how, but I think I got chlamydia again. Oh. No, I don't get tested till the 7th, but remember that femboy I told you about? Yeah, he said something about how he may have got an STD a while ago, and he's been ghosting me since. I cured mine. I have only had sex with him. Wolfgang is mentioning here how he has another STD to scare his mutual friend, fearing that he contracted chlamydia for a second time. He did not disclose his history of STDs before engaging in intercourse with me. The lack of basing. Okay, this might be a hot take. This might be a hot take. There are STIs and STDs. Okay, STDs don't go away. Okay, so we're talking, you know, HPV. We're talking HIV. We're talking HSV. Okay, these are ones that don't go away. Okay. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, crabs, those kinds of things, they go away, okay? They can be treated. You can no longer have symptoms. You can no longer have it like it's an infection. It can be gone, okay? You no longer have it. If you had chlamydia, treated it, and then no longer had chlamydia, why would you walk around with a fucking t-shirt on that says, I used to have chlamydia? That's insane. Did he refuse to disclose that he also may have had mono? Maybe he had mono at one point in his life. Maybe he had mono at one point in his life, and he did not tell. He did not tell this person. That's insane. He should have told him. That's crazy. That lack of transparency. If somebody has like an active STI or STD, yes. If somebody has an STD that is incurable or whatever, yes. If you had it and then no longer fucking have it, why the fuck would you? You guys, so sorry. I totally forgot to tell you guys. I actually had COVID 2 weeks ago. I should have told you guys that before I started streaming. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm no longer contagious. I no longer am sick, but I should have told you guys, and it was really irresponsible for me to not tell you that I was sick 2 weeks ago. That's crazy. Dude, this is so stupid. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sickened and stressed that I hypothetically could have caught an STD if hypothetically he still had the STD, hypothetically in another lifetime entirely if he didn't treat it. And then we have more furry porn. Wolfgang sending more examples of unsolicited pornography with canine genitals. This document has not gone public. Okay, well, that fucking sucked. I hated that. Didn't like that at all. That wasn't fun at all. I did not have fun with that. It sounds to me like Parlo has really poor boundaries. And like, I just think that it's actually insane that there are people that are like full ass adults that will engage in these kinds of like explicit sexual conversations, relationships with intent and reciprocate sexual action and then turn around and say, I was just too scared to say no. And therefore I was raped. Even though I reciprocated, even though I invited it, even though I expressly said that I wanted to do it. Like, how is Internet Adjacent supposed to read this guy's mind, like, telepathically? Internet Adjacent did not rape. Internet Adjacent was gaslight and manipulated by this femboy skank. Gaslit and manipulated. Gaslit and manipulated. Bamboozled, tricked by this fucking heretical skank. That's what I think happened. I think I declare Internet Adjacent innocent. Dude, that's insane. How long is this other one? This is Gay Emu Emmy. Yes, spaced. Okay, what the fuck? This is only 23 pages. Okay, we're gonna read this one and then I'm gonna go. I need to go to bed, but we're gonna read this one. Okay, so this is the other one. This is another rape allegation. I don't know who this one is from. I don't know if it says who this one is from. I'm not quite sure if it does. So this is Internet Adjacent statement, correct? Hello, everyone. This is really not something I ever wanted to go over public, but due to the circumstances, it appears that I have to. If you're seeing this Google Doc that I'm making, aware that the drama has been going on with me and a fellow YouTuber, Parlo, behind the scenes. It isn't something I'm happy about being public, obviously, but it was inevitable at some point. What I don't appreciate is how the entire situation has played out. As most people know that I was really good friends with fellow content creator Parlo in the public eye. I was also a YouTube accomplice who, while critical of his past actions, also maintained the stance that he'd been around. The main point is that I always had to tell people that he never listened. A bit of a spurge, but was never behavior that I had seen. We'd planned to see each other in October. Just landed in New York, start flying to London. What time do you get here? Because I don't get the last ride by 12. I have to pay 100 for an Uber. Before we actually get to that, something somewhat important I want to talk about is that a GoFundMe that Parlo made just a week before this trip. So Parlo made this GoFundMe that says, please help. Rent, food, and monthly bills. Parlo has 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. What do you need a fucking GoFundMe for? Dude, I hate Gen Z. I hate Gen Z. I was not even aware that such a GoFundMe had ever existed, so you can imagine my surprise when I found out it was only a week after we created the GoFundMe, literally begging to help pay for food and bills, that he sent me $1,000 in order to pay for a plane ticket to London. That sounds like, again, if you're sending this money for a plane ticket, and that's your food money. It sounds like you need to grow a fucking spine and say, no, dude, I have to be able to eat. I can't pay for your ticket. And also, you have 600 fucking thousand subscribers on YouTube, you stupid fucking ungrateful little bitch. Learn how to balance a fucking checkbook. You're 20 years old. What are you blowing like fucking $250,000 on? What are you doing? What are you doing? I fucking hate this guy. Okay. This is beside the fact that he also purchased a brand new gaming laptop, which is at least $1,000. If you're in my position where you need to make a GoFundMe, maybe you shouldn't be paying for trips like this. Very true, correct? And I was told this would be paid for the Airbnb, which became relevant later. Yes, arrived in London on the 11th. Have y'all made it? Parlo. I'm gonna make you blow as quick as humanly possible. Do you want to do it shortly after? Shower, sex. I'm on the train. Sex tonight or no? He cut these out of the original document, this fucking weaselly little liar, dude. This weaselly little liar, dude. This guy's a fucking liar. So here it says, I'm on the train. When he says shower sex question mark, when I get to Paddington, I'm on the train right now. And then it cuts off here in fucking Parlo's document. And then he's like, oh my God, he was trying to like get me to do shower rape. He was trying to like psychically rape me to get in the shower with him. And then Internet Adjacent says sex tonight or no. And then Parlo says, yeah. Okay, but I can't eat until then, and I'm starving. We'll do it and then go out and grab dinner. I haven't eaten in 32 hours. Do you guys still want to meet at the station? Yes. So he's like, I want to fuck first. And then he was like, oh my God, I was literally starving. I'd never eaten before my entire life, and he made me fuck him before he would allow me to get food. Dude, fuck this guy. This guy's a fucking loser. What's around for food? Have you checked on maps? No, haven't seen. Why don't we just order stuff? Almost there. Like pizza, I'm here. When do you want to do it before we get food? How long do you want to do it for? As long as we can, I guess. Okay, give me a bit. What do you do about blank? Okay, me and Parlo had sex, and while this definitely probably an overshare, it becomes relevant when you hear what he tried to accuse me of later before we had sex. He said that he wasn't sure if he was in the mood to do full penetrative stuff, just mouth stuff, which I was fine with. After we did stuff for a while, I did pose the question if he wanted to go the way since we already had a condom. He at first said that he was down, so took the condom out. That was when he actually said that he was too tired to do anything like that tonight. I told him that was fine. He put the condom on the shelf, and that's where it was the entire trip. Okay, so he did actually stage the rape scene. Got it. The next day, a group of us tried to meet up with him in Oxford. While doing that, I messaged him about what we did. Hope you had fun last night. I did. Where do you think I can meet y'all? Okay, so literally, he is like, I hope that you had a good time last night. And he says, yeah, I did have fun. But, okay. Dude, fuck this guy. The way Parlo was trying to frame this, that I ripped the condom out and told him that we should go further, saying that he felt peer pressure, but end this out about lie, that I didn't do it. I didn't rip up the condom in an attempt to pressure him into sex. And after I asked if he wanted, he said no. I dropped it entirely, so I have no idea where this narrative is coming from. The second day, we talked briefly about the prospect of doing something sexual, but after he said he wasn't down for it and was tired, I once again dropped the topic. You still want to try topping? I could, but I'm stressy. Okay. Horny yesterday. Do you want me to walk you to the station? No, I have to take the Uber. Ah, damn. The reason why this is important is because according to the anonymous third party who was at the Airbnb, apparently when the story Parlo showed off part of this DM later and said despite him saying that he wasn't done for sex, that I still pursued him sexually after that. Below, what was told by Parlo sitting around to other people when he was recounting the story. Do you still want to try topping? I could. We can try something tonight. I kind of want to blow you. I was actually about to leave pretty soon. Okay. According to the neutral third party, I was told that Parlo said after this DM that I still pursued him sexually in text messages, even though in reality, actually, all I did was offer to walk him to the train station since it was around midnight. The third day is the big one, as this is the day he tries to claim all type of shit. On the third day, we agreed that we would do some type of sex thing. We had plans that night to go clubbing and drinking. We agreed that we would leave sometime around 6:30. Because of this, I asked Parlo if he'd potentially want to have sex. This was the conversation that followed. Yep. I was going to grab the cord to your Xbox. Yeah, sorry, I was recording. Do you want me to blow you before or after the club? Before, I think. All right, just let me know whenever and I can go and change. Do you want me to change and we can do stuff? Done for a little bit. I want to chill. So he cut this out in the document. He cut this out too. All right, whatever, I can go change. Do you want me to change and we can do stuff? I want to chill. He literally cut it right here. Where he's like, do you want me to suck your dick before or after the club? And he says, before we go to the club. He cut it out and was like, oh my God. He literally like held a gun to my head and said, I'm going to suck your dick, bitch. Or I'm going to kill you. He literally was like, yeah, you can suck my dick before we leave. Like, hello? He's engaging. This is reciprocal. Peter said he wanted to chill for a little bit. I said that I was chill with that. We also had to run the Airbnb together with our laptops and brought our phones. He even wanted me to review his pyro stuff. The reason why this is relevant because I tried to say that I peer pressured him in this instance when I was constantly walking in and out of the bedroom. He tried to say that this was me trying to allure him or some shit. In reality, the reason I was going in and out of the bedroom is that the only outlet in the Airbnb that I could use my phone, there were 2 outlets in the living room and in the bedroom. The entire outlets in the living room had been taken up by Parlo, and the outlet had one socket didn't work, blah, blah, blah. And also, they have different chargers in the UK or different like outlets or whatever. So yeah, fuck it. Hey, just letting you know that one of the outlets. So there's proof that one of the outlets isn't working. So for those of you asking why I didn't just plug my phone charger into the extender, I'm an American and my phone charger is different. Thank you. I just said that. Okay, based. Yeah, so you can see here that British people suck. Yes, I agree. True. The reason that this is important is because not knowing anything about power outlets or extenders, you know, the plug-in extender doesn't work, so I haven't tried plugging it in. Okay, so we get it. All right. After we all settled around for a bit, I went into the bedroom and told him to come here. This is his response. Come here. I do want my dick sucked, but I might be a little horny, but you'll have to be delicate. So again, this was chopped up incorrectly. This was at a different time. Okay, cool. Cool. When I did sexual stuff again, in which he complimented my appearance and far more about me, after we were done, we decided to lay for a bit. Side note, he actually tried talking to me about how him constantly checking his own throat on Kiwi Farm. What a fucking loser. It's justified, which is something I told him constantly to just ignore. But in retrospect, the fact that he tried saying all that was literally just, we literally just had sex. He tried saying after we literally just had sex is the most lol-cow shit I could imagine. But because of how long he was dicking around and working on the pyro document, by the time we were done, we only had an hour before we had to leave to go to the club. We obviously both needed a shower, so I suggested we take a shower together to save time, and we did so. When he came out of the shower, our third party had already left and texted me that he had already gone to the train station. Because of how he worded it, I thought that he was mad at us. He started breaking down and crying at the thought of our friend being upset at us. When I tried to hug him, he told me to fuck off and blame me for everything. That's wrong. I simply went quiet, walked to the bedroom, and laid in the bed because I figured it was not worth my time. Instead of trying to figure out what was going on, immediately put the blame on me. He then got upset that I wasn't speaking to him. I had a great friend group and some other bullshit before leaving the Airbnb. After a while, laying on the bed, I fell asleep. I woke up hours later to Parlo and the friend walked into the Airbnb while their friend said nothing. Parlo wasn't saying anything. You know, I never said I'd pay you back for the Airbnb. Then, while I push this on, you have to consider my financial situation, like I said earlier. This was Parlo said I felt peer pressured into sex a lot of times, which I proved in my DMs. I was being told an entirely different story at this time. It's only now after thinking he pissed someone else off that he says, yeah. So it sounds like he wanted to blame everything on Wolfgang to get out of his involvement in pissing off the third party as well. Like, he just didn't want anybody to be mad at him. Like, this is literally male emu Emmy. This is what this is. This guy's like an ultimate people pleaser. The next day, okay, they didn't have the call, got it. The next day, I reached out to some drama YouTubers to get their perspective on the situation. They made their way back to Parlo and a mutual friend who was later informed. Parlo's response was to first say that he wanted me to sign an NDA, but also make a Google Doc on me, but not about the situation, but on a different random shit below. Below is the message. As per protocol, I was out to talk to you for 48 hours after arrange a call with you at agreeable time. The possibility of an NDA is being discussed. This guy's such a fucking weasel, dude. Like, the only reason that you would have him sign an NDA is if you know that you fucked up and he has receipts. And he does have receipts. He has receipts of you being just as horny as he is. That's crazy. In regard to that Google Doc, despite me requesting multiple times to see it and actively being told, people were being annoyed that I discovered its existence. I still have never seen the contents of what it tries to claim about me. I've been told that he tries to claim, but I can't debunk a Google Doc I haven't seen. I can debunk everything. Now that I've actively tried to have a call with Parlo before the day, saying that they'll call him later. This was the first time I tried to call him. The second was scheduled. Parlo ran away. Okay. Despite me being slandered by this guy, been very charitable. Someone who has the ability to admit when he does something stupid is very lax. As for you, Parlo, I'm generally one of the few people who gave you a fair shot and actually gave a shit about you. I feel like you only used me because of my platform and my body. And I'm pretty disgusted by who you are. You're the reason why everyone hates you. You are the reason you're considered a locale, and I think gambling your career in a situation like this is not a good move like you think it is. Anyway, I don't have anything else if more shit comes out. Like, yeah. After reading all of this, like, I don't believe this Parlo person. I think this Parlo oh my god, hey, it's me. Hey, that's crazy. What if I was picking my nose right now? That'd be so embarrassing. Yeah, I think this Parlo person is a fucking freak. I think that Parlo is a liar. I think that Parlo, like, literally just made this shit up because he wanted to get out of trouble with their mutual friend or whatever. I don't believe Parlo at all. I don't believe Parlo at all. I think Parlo's a liar. And yeah, fuck Parlo. That's crazy. That's actually insane. Unironically.